A few shows have taken the Toronto theatre scene by storm, quite like the current Mirvish production of Les Mis. At the center of that storm is musical theatre star Ramin Karimloo, and he plays the lead character, Jean Valjean, and joins Chris now.
Ramin, we're so excited to have you here.
Thank you very much.
So many of us went to see the show, and I was at the rehearsals, and I'm wondering, this is such a beloved musical. It's probably my favorite musical of all time. Were you nervous at all about recreating it, because it's a bit of a different take from the original?
Yeah, you know what, I was just excited because the thing is, there's so many fans and support with the show around the world. I think I don't let that make you nervous, as opposed to it gives you the support and encouragement to have fun with it.
We were talking so much during, while they were doing the Golden Globe nominations, and you have such a quietness about you. But this is a very intense role, and you have to do how many shows a week? Is it 7, 8 shows?
I do 7, thankfully.
7 shows a week.
Yeah.
So where does the transformation begin for you when you hit the stage and you have to be this huge, larger-than-life character?
Well, you know, I sort of start gearing up as the afternoon goes on, starting the gym and get my sweat on. And then once the makeup for me, especially when I was playing the Phantom and now with Valjean, once they start putting the scars in the head and you put on the costume, things sort of start clicking in from then on.
How does it feel to embody this character, Jean Valjean?
It's a great journey. I was talking to Colm, who originated the role, and it does affect you as a person too. And it's funny with Valjean and now being a dad and a little bit older, it sort of makes you look at yourself and your sort of life a bit, because he's such a spiritual man and a very selfless man, and you end up thinking, oh, I kind of would like to be more like him.
Yeah, so you do get to be in 7 shows a week, and you mentioned Colm Wilkinson, who is the original Jean Valjean, and really a legend, especially in your eyes. You got the chance to do a little press conference with him to announce the one show that he's doing where he's going to play the bishop, and this is a press conference. And this is probably one of the most famous songs from the musical, and you guys got to do a duet.
Well, that moment was huge for me. Like, there he is on my guitar, which I got when I was 14 as a dishwasher, working in Richmond Hill in a sports bar. And then, that was impromptu as well, so I was a little bit nervous, but, what a legend to sit there and watch him do his thing and be part of that with him.
And that show is happening January 12th.
January 11th.
January 11th,
yes,
and all the proceeds are going to charity.
Yeah, we got 5 great charities that will split it through them.
How did that come about? How did you guys decide to do that?
Well, I think originally it was down to Sir Cameron Mackintosh and Colm sort of had this idea.
Yeah.
And then when they asked whether we'd be interested, well, there's no question, to work with him and for such a great cause. It's, it's a win-win situation for everyone involved.
All right, well, you're going to talk more about Colm Wilkinson, you're going to talk about Cameron Mackintosh, and where this show is going next, because you're going to stick around and join us on our national show. We are going to take a quick break. Ramin Karimloo, Jean Valjean, and the Toronto production of Les Miserables. We're going to take a quick break, everybody. You're watching The Morning Show.
You can take, you can give.
Good morning, everybody. Born in Iran, raised in rural Ontario, member of a high school rock band, and a former cruise ship singer. It's not your conventional path to the Broadway stage, but then again, there isn't much about our next guest that is conventional. Ramin Karimloo is one of musical theater's hottest stars, playing roles like the Phantom in The Phantom of the Opera, and more recently Jean Valjean in Les Mis in London, which is also playing now in Toronto, and then he will be on Broadway early next year. And Ramin Karimloo joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning.
With the president of your fan club, Chris Reyes.
I think the first time we met, I tagged our picture #TheaterCrush, and they have not let me off the hook.
Yes.
Oh, I've got to read my timeline a bit more often. I'll find that.
I guess my first question is, Cameron Mackintosh pretty much handpicked you, and he had some amazing things to say about you. And of course, you can't get any bigger than Cameron Mackintosh when it comes to musical theater. And he said that you were better than he ever expected you to be as Jean Valjean.
I did not know that. That's fantastic. I owe everything to Cameron because, he's given me a wide variety of roles, and with Valjean, it's a role, I turned down. I didn't want to do it. And he showed more faith in me. And he kind of, when he says, I've come for my pound of flesh, I felt I should owe him at least to try it. And I said when he offered the part, And he says, you got to do it. I said, okay, one condition. If I'm awful, we can't fall out. We've got a good relationship.
Okay.
So that's one condition.
I have a little Ramin trivia. Do you know what happened on this day, December 12th, 1990?
Yes, sir, I do. It is today.
It is today.
Oh
it's
my
your
God.
23rd anniversary of seeing your first show and saying, I want to do that.
That is today.
It's today.
Happy anniversary.
Yes, happy anniversary. And you've never looked back. Although there were a couple of times in there where you said, if I don't make it, I want to be a cop.
Yeah, well, I always put little stipulations because I thought, well, and I got married young, and I thought, well, my family shouldn't suffer for my art. So, little things like, I said, okay, by 25, if I haven't got a lead role, then, I'll go be a cop, because my brother's a cop here in the 53rd Division, and I'm really proud of all police officers, let alone him. And so I thought I'd give that a shot. 2 weeks before my 25th birthday, I got Raoul in Phantom.
That's unbelievable. Can you talk a little bit about this unconventional path that you took? How did you manage to turn it into something that's taking you now to Broadway?
I don't know. It's one of those things I feel like I've been a pinball going through life, and I've been very lucky to be bouncing off good, positive things and working with good directors and good people, and I've always wanted to improve more now than ever. So, it was one day working as a waiter down on Front Street, opening up Now Magazine, an audition for singers to go on a cruise ship. And I thought, I'll give that a go. I didn't know anything about music theater. Didn't even know I got the job till 2 days before my flight. There was miscommunications, and they phoned me saying, you're going to England.
What did you sing as the audition? Do you remember?
It's a Billy Joel song. What's the matter with the clothes I'm wearing? That one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
I'm
about.
wondering about your challenges, in particular, why you turned down this role at first. I mean, what scared you so much about this?
I always think you got to have some sort of conduit to the character, and for me, I didn't know what I would say about Valjean. I didn't know if I could sing it. I didn't know what story I would tell, and for me, the story was told definitively through Colm Wilkinson. So I thought, well, what can I bring that's not been seen before? And then after Cameron's conversation, I thought, well, I'll go read the novel again. It's the first time I talked myself into an audition. I said, well, because we were doing the Phantom 25th anniversary at the time, so my head was a bit full anyways. So I said, well, why don't we discuss this in 10 days' time? I'll come and sing it for you. If you still want me to do it, then I'll do it. So that bought me some time, and I started reading a novel, and just what really sprung out at me was Valjean's journey through faith. And I thought, oh, I kind of understand that. So I had my conduit, then I got excited. So 10 days later, I went in wanting to do it then.
And now you have this enormous task of taking this show to Broadway. And this is a very different take from the original. Are you nervous about that?
No, it's one of those things where you can only tell your story, and I'm excited as opposed to nervous. There's a wonderful company down there as well. There's a lot of buzz happening with the show because of the film, and also Les Mis is something that's cyclical, I think, in modern politics, and you just open a paper, you just Les Mis somewhere in the world, and so people are always willing to see it, and I think with the buzz now, I'm excited to see what happens.
Can we show that sassy picture of you
Oh
with the
my
Phantom
God.
mask? Do we have that? Was it?
Please say no.
There
it is.
Hello, Dolly.
Hello.
How hard or not hard was it for them to convince you to do that?
That was the worst moment of my life. And look,
That's the best one.
don't look.
It's a good moment for a lot of people watching.
I thought it was the voice that they were liking, but I think there's a little more to it, right, ladies?
Not only is it a half mask, there's a hole in the mask. Like, it's very cold in that room.
What's
No,
the story here?
It was for testicular cancer, for Cosmopolitan. So I was, I was very nervous to do that.
Sure. No
I don't know what more I
kidding.
can say.
What about were you
I think it turned out okay, Ramin.
I hope so.
Were you nervous when you met Hugh Jackman?
No, I was again very excited, and it was nice that we had a good moment. There we are. Look at that. Yeah, he was such a nice gentleman, and just talking about the part of it, and what was nice because I just wanted to not know his head about Valjean because his story again is his story, but I kind of liked we had sort of similar processes, and I thought, so it was kind of validating for me as an actor. I thought, wow, he's going through the same thing and does the same. But he was such a cool dude.
What's your favorite song of to sing?
I love Who Am I? It's because it's a great sort of monologue. Because I don't think about them as songs anymore, unless you were doing like in a concert. So it's a great sort of scene and moment. Who Am I is real real nice.
Continued success.
Thank you, sir.
It's quite the story. We appreciate you coming in early in the morning, which is tough sometimes for actors.
That's right. Ramin Karimloo, Jean Valjean in Les Mis here in Toronto and soon to be in New York.
In
Nice
Broadway.
to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you guys.
Coming